sassy, a little bit crazy, a little bit classy. We got dreams and we got goals. We're just a couple of old sassholes.
Welcome to A Couple of Sassholes podcast. I'm Brooklyn Johnson.
And I'm Heather Terry.
And for anyone who doesn't know, this is our power hour where we talk about fucked up people doing fucked up shit, usually for fucked up reasons or for no reasons at all.
That's right. That is right.
Today is Casual Friday in the office. We both text each other and we're like, it's scoomy. I'm sleepy and I do not feel my brightest.
Yeah, I'm not running on 100. I'm not running at 100.
I don't think I've ran at 100 since 1997.
Right.
But I feels you.
Yeah, I if you're wondering why I sound like Toni Braxton.
You sound exactly like you are.
Do I really? In my head? I don't think
you sound any different.
In my head.
Or I would have been like, we shouldn't record.
Good. I don't want anybody to be like, oh, God. And turn me off. I feel a little raspy. Like if I picked up the acoustic guitar that I cannot play. And I could go to a coffee house and sing some ballads.
Yeah.
Okay. Some angsty, poetic.
Guess who didn't shut off their phone?
What was that? Your phone ringing?
Oh, wait, no, it's because Travis has he's my emergency contact. So if he calls at any time, it goes through to ring. Because I was like, I don't think I have ever taken my phone off vibrate since I've had an iPhone.
I know. I've never heard it make noise. That's why I was really confused.
It's after that night that Travis couldn't get a lift and was calling me over and over again. And I had fallen asleep. I changed it in my phone.
Gotcha.
Anyway. So yeah, we're fighting the good fight.
We're fighting. Yes,
we're fighting the good fight.
We're here.
This is us proving how much we love you guys.
We do. It's all for you. We gotta get. I love 90s. Speaking of which, do you like my sweatshirt?
Yeah.
Okay. With NSYNC.
Do you like my Sequoia National Park sweatshirt?
This is definitely our personalities.
Yes.
On our sweatshirts.
Yes, it is.
For sure.
I literally put this on in my closet and I was like, text Heather and make sure this is okay. Because this is me like, I have a fresh hairdo.
Yeah.
I'm wearing different eyeshadow that I kind of vibe.
It does look good.
I like my sparkly lips today.
Yeah.
But I'm in a fucking sweatshirt and the leggings I have that fall down all the time.
Yeah. Well.
And I'm not even wearing shoes.
I know. You're very cozy with your little cup that I got you. I love that.
You're looking like a real snack. My Dahmer action. Got my teas. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to get entertained.
Are you ready to get entertained? Hopefully I can do that.
I believe you can.
You believe in me?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Fuck yeah.
You know what else is new on this particular one that people might have noticed if they made it this far? On this episode, we have a new logo.
We do.
We have a new logo.
Drew, I'm sorry. The bottom of my cup had a little bit of tea.
Way to go. We can't have nothing nice.
I know.
This is the last time we're partnering with Wonder Boy.
I know. Because we have a new logo, but also a new studio called Back to Our Kitchen Table.
Yeah, we have a new logo.
We do. Yes. Thank you, Dana.
Yes, Dana made us a new logo. We're obsessed with it.
It all came.
We've grown up.
We have. Like, we loved our logo before, and the first one that we ever made was on Canva, and I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. Did I do the logo, and then you added in the jazz? Or did you do the logo?
It doesn't matter.
I was like, I'm asking.
Yeah.
It's not a weird question.
I did it. And then he did the triangle part.
Yeah.
He sent us that. And then I was like, let me mess with that. And then we made all those logos in Canva, which I didn't even know what Canva was when we first started. You taught me what it was. I had never even heard of it in my life. Mm-hmm. And now we're...
Anywho, I was very excited because we think this is a much more grown-up version.
Oh.
So we hope you guys like it too.
It is amazing.
Yes.
Okay. Have you ever heard of the murder of Heidi Broussard?
I don't know. The name sounds pretty familiar.
Yeah? The church camp?
I don't know.
Anything with church camp? All right. Well, here I go.
Dude, there's a lot of floating around up here.
Yeah.
I don't fucking know.
I
know less today than I would usually know.
And we eat, sleep, and breathe this, so they all, sadly, can meld together at times. I'm going to do my sources at the end because it kind of gives away a little bit of the story. So normally this is where we do
that's weird.
Sources?
I'm thrown. I'm thrown and I feel
new logo.
Everything's weird to me
new
now.
Logo, new format. new illnesses. We're good.
Everything's great.
That's right. Heidi Broussard was born on May 23rd, 1986 in, I wrote Lake Charles, but it's Lake Charles, Louisiana. She was raised in a Christian home where church was their life. Every summer, she looked forward to going to Discovery Country Church Camp in Columbus, Texas with her friends Rebecca, Kelly, and Rachel. They were like the it clique.
Were they the it clique or were they just...
No, apparently they were. Apparently
in church camp?
Yeah.
And not a real thing. Okay, so the it clique at church camp.
Yes.
Got it.
Yes. A few of them had gone to church together, and then a few of them, every summer they would hang out, so they got close there because this was like their thing that they did. Heidi was the unsung leader of their little clique, and she made friends with everyone. She always wanted to include everyone. She was very charismatic. People gravitated towards her naturally. Okay, so cut to the late 1990s. And what was all the rage back then? Purity.
I was like, Tamagotchis. That's where my head automatically went to. I was like, Tamagotchis.
Oh my gosh.
Trying to keep them bitches alive in my
clean.
elementary school bathroom. Trying to clean that poop.
Yeah, they should have lot.
They did.
Very
I could
regular.
Totally get a Tamagotchi again.
It's funny that you said that because I told Will I wanted one the other day, and then I saw a meme that said that we are just Tamagotchis trying to keep ourselves alive.
Dude, I'm here for that ASMR. I'm trying to cough on every episode now.
I said we're trying to
clear that throat.
I said we're trying to keep ourselves alive, and you coughed right.
There's nothing I can do about
No,
it.
yeah, I know.
Okay, Purity
was a big to-do.
I feel like it still is.
Yeah, but it was like the celebrities talked about like...
Oh, yeah, right. Like Britney Spears.
Britney
who
Spears.
Was a virgin.
Yeah, but I watched the clip because they said on the documentary that I watched, they said, well, we can't remember if it was because of Britney or what. And then they interviewed her and they said, so you want to stay a virgin until marriage? And she goes, uh-huh. Like there was like
Britney Spears?
Yeah, there was like a 3-second
She was
delay.
like, well, number one, it was so not their
like
business.
Why are you talking?
And
to
they were just asking a 16-year-old girl. Like her parents are listening.
Yeah,
fuck everybody, man.
I know. Like, let me ask
y'all.
you if you're gonna no.
And if you go back through all that shit and like realize what they ask women versus what they ask men on every red carpet affair, talking about their weight, their sex life, fuck all y'all. That's what I have to say.
Me too.
But yeah, go abstinence.
Okay, so this is when people had the purity rings, and abstinence was talked about in pop culture, not the orange juice culture, just pop. Okay, I actually went to church camp, and I think it was around.
What?
Yeah,
I'm kidding. That's whenever you were doing the Muppets and shit.
I was you want me to? I'm gonna say it. I was on the national award-winning puppet team, and I'm making eye contact with Drew because
I'm looking
Jess
directly
is out.
at this camera because I want everyone to understand what Heather just said.
I know I was on a national winning puppet team.
If you're ever curious which one of us is the cool one, we know. We now know.
Listen, I have no shame in my puppet game.
I'm gonna get my phone and unfriend it.
Anyway, so I went to church camp for that reason. And so I'm familiar with that song and dance about save it for your husband, guard your flower, whatever the fuck they used to say.
Yeah.
Yes. The girls on the show even said that they feared God more than they feared their parents. So super, super religious. They said that they would go, like people in their church group would even like start dating someone and get engaged in their youth group. And they would stand up and be like, we're not even going to kiss until we get married. Like, I can't get over it. Anyway. Yeah. Which I think is a little extreme, but that's just my personal view.
That's because you're a slut.
A married one.
Yeah, well, slut's a slut.
Okay. So Heidi, being the kind-hearted girl that she was, welcomed 2 more fellow church campers into their clique, Magen Humphreys and Caressa.
Carissa?
No, it's Caressa.
I'm leaving.
I've
had so many annoying things happen to me, but that's the most annoying thing this week.
I'll say Carissa, but it's spelled with an E. Like, I spelled it with an I because my spell check.
Yeah, let's
made
call
me
her
change
Carissa.
it.
Well, is she a victim or
No.
Okay. Then we'll just call her whatever the fuck.
Okay. The other girls welcomed Carissa with open arms, and she fit right in with them. But Magen, on the other hand, was not so much their favorite addition to their group. Heidi pushed her through the acceptance process. But
This is entertaining.
She was not their favorite. And Rachel and Kelly said she rubbed them the wrong way. She was weird, and she tried way too hard.
I just have to say, I didn't go to church camp. I didn't do any of this stuff. Does it show? Probably does. But this is exactly what I thought it was like.
Yeah.
Fucking it clicks, not liking people, pushing them through, being like, I'm not kissing till marriage. There's a reason I was making out behind a church at 16. But carry on.
Yeah. And Heidi always saw the best in everyone, so she made sure that Magen was always included. And Magen would like cling to her and try to keep Heidi all to herself, because I'm sure that she felt the vibes of the other ones not wanting her to be in their group. Like, she clung to Heidi, who was the only one that was fucking nice to her, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. After they outgrew the church camp ages and they got older, they all kind of went their separate ways, as life does. Rebecca got married. Rachel and Kelly went back to Columbus, Texas, and Carissa lived there too already. Magen moved to Houston, and Heidi came back to her hometown of Lake Charles, Louisiana. And Heidi was the best one at staying in touch with everyone. And they called her the best friend of the bunch because she was always involved in their lives and made sure that they all stayed close, even though they didn't live together.
That's amazing. Good for them.
Yeah. Heidi got a job at a new casino in Lake Charles as a young adult. And I couldn't find her actual age then, but a young adult. And while there, she met a guy that swept her off her feet named Shane.
Shane. White boy Shane.
So
He's white, right? Yeah, for
this
sure.
is Heidi and Shane. That's a photo. And
This picture looks familiar to me.
yeah, that's Heidi
But I
and
have
Shane.
no idea why. This dude Shane has a lavender color button up and like one of those like brown necklaces, like the
That
fuck.
you get in Florida, like Gulf Shores.
Yeah, with like a big shell. Yeah, he looks exactly like a fucking Shane. That's Shane if I've ever seen one. We got to make sure to send that photo in.
Oh, yeah. And they started dating. And shortly after that, she wound up with a surprise out of wedlock pregnancy. So you could imagine,
Ooh.
shook. Because, again, religion.
They're still religious even after they left? Okay.
Yep.
I didn't know if that was like a phase like red hair. I didn't know.
Or like church camp puppeteering. Like me.
Yeah.
Because
Well,
that was definitely a
You
phase.
spend Sundays in church?
Yeah. Yes, I did. And now I have a true crime podcast that the first 2 seconds we say fuck. So we all
You
grow.
can still go to church.
Yeah, that's true.
God doesn't. What's the word?
Judge?
Yeah.
Because I
Start
don't
with
know
a
all
D.
those.
I want everyone screaming in their car. The not judge. There we go.
There we
Discriminate.
go.
Good old Drew on the mic in the back.
I don't know. I just always hear all the criminals on the jail shows that I watch, like, only God can judge me. And I'm like, or the family of the people that you killed, but whatever. Okay. So Heidi, pregnant, out of wedlock. She was nervous because they weren't married, not even engaged, but she was super excited to be a mom. And then luckily her family was like, okay, this is great news. And when she gave birth to their son in 2014, she was over the moon. Everything looked great in their relationship, outside looking in. They didn't go into detail exactly what Shane was doing to Heidi, but they basically, to sum it up, was not a good father or boyfriend to her. So her
Once
friends.
more, he looked like a douche canoe. He really did. He looked
Right.
like if you had been like, this is my husband, I'd be like, that fucking sucks.
You know he has a shell around his neck, right?
Like, that sucks. That sucks. And I'm sorry that we can't be friends because he looks like a douchebag.
Oh my gosh. Her friends said that she was, quote, known for giving people chances they didn't deserve. And that's all that she wrote. The same year, they moved to Austin, Texas. They thought it would give them a fresh start, but things did not get better. Heidi moved out with their kid a few times, but she always ended up going back, and they were always on and off again, but it was like super toxic.
Sorry, can you remind me, how old is she?
She early 20s.
We don't know her birth year?
No.
Oh,
Well, yeah, early 20s.
okay.
I don't have her exact age on here.
What's her name again? I've got to know her age. I need to understand her mental state.
She was born in 86.
Okay.
So, and this was
86 in
2014.
2014? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Heidi called Rachel, one of her church girls, crying one day, saying that she can't do this anymore. It's too hard to be with Shane, and she felt very, very alone. Like it says, she felt like a single mom. When she finally was like, "All right, I'm going to move home. I'm going to Louisiana," she found out she was pregnant again.
Ah, come on, wrap it up.
I know.
Wrap it up. There is birth control. Okay. Ugh, that shit bums me out, man.
I know, and they were having a, but they weren't good. And then she it took her that long to make her mind up, and then
you still fucking. Congratulations on getting the O. But
well,
hopefully. My gosh, man.
Well, we know he did.
Well, we can also just hope because
he looks
it's
like
more
she
likely. Yeah, man, that's just disappointing.
I know.
Like, wrap it up. Get on birth control.
Right.
Pull out. There's a lot of options here.
At the time, she was still unmarried. They were not engaged. And she, at this time, was not excited about the pregnancy. But she was like, well, it's God's plan. It's on his time, not mine. A baby's always a blessing. So she...
About how long were they together here? Sorry, I'm trying.
This is like, the timelines are. They didn't release a lot of information about the timelines. Like they don't.
So, what year did she give birth to her first kid?
2014. This is about 20. When she got pregnant again, it was like 2018.
Oh, so they'd been together for at least 5 years.
Yeah, it was still a while.
4 or 5 years.
Right.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. But
I was trying to understand. I was like, how old was that kid when she got pregnant with another kid? Was it like, I'm completely stuck?
It was like 4 or 5 years, and she was already prepared to like take him, go back home.
Yeah.
So now she's pregnant again. And remember though, she had 2 other church camp friends who lived in Texas. So Caressa and Magen lived there. Caressa, it pains me to say.
It's weird.
I know. Was just a phone call away in Columbus, and Magen was in Houston. So they became like really close best friends over the years. More so Magen and Heidi, though, which is what Magen always wanted. With their help, Heidi began to accept and get really excited about the birth of her second child. Also, shortly after she had told, Heidi told them about her pregnancy, Magen found out like 2 weeks later that she was pregnant as well. So like best friends going through pregnancy, blah, blah.
Yay.
Magen had a super rocky relationship with a man named Chris who she lived with. And Magen and Heidi joked because Magen found out when she went to the doctor that her due date was the exact same day as Heidi's.
That's so bizarre.
Right?
What's up with people getting knocked up by like shitty men
Oh.
in the fucking mid-2000s? Like, not mid-2000s. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
I don't know.
I feel like that was such a time, and everyone get shitty with me for me being ignorant and wrong. But I felt like there was such a time at a certain age range that people were just getting pregnant to like I know in 2014, a grouping of people in my like previous life of getting pregnant by shitty guys. And it was like, they wanted a kid.
That's what they're supposed to do.
They wanted a kid, and they wanted to like keep a guy. Like, you think it keeps a guy around. It takes things more seriously. So if like a guy's kind of being shitty, you end up getting pregnant.
Right.
Then they're going to live up to it, and they never do. Not in those cases.
Yeah.
No.
Well, after Heidi told Shane that she was pregnant again, apparently he did get his shit together, and he did like an about face and was like, all right,
Good.
well, basically they said that. And then from what I read, she was like, you're going to do this or I'm leaving. Your call. Like, I'm done with this. Like, she kind of laid it out, and he was like, okay, well, I'll step up. And he stopped being shitty. And they were finally like moving forward and happy again. So she lasted a lot longer than most women would. And apparently
I'm amazed they never got
worked out.
engaged. They were together that long.
Right. Yep. Magen and Chris, however, did not grow closer after her pregnancy announcement. They were on the rocks big time. They weren't even living in the same end of the house.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, they literally
Like, to
slept
fix it.
separate rooms, separate.
Yeah.
Yeah. And one of the girls on the show was like, I'm pretty sure she did. Well, they didn't like her anyway, but they were like, pretty sure she did that just to keep him. Chris traveled a lot for work, so he was gone all the time. And Heidi was there for Magen because she had a heart friend. And even Shane was there for her best friend. That November in 2019, Heidi gave birth to her baby girl. Magen was super pregnant. She obviously made the trip there for the birth. And Shane was like, here, take a key to our place, because he didn't want her driving late at night so she could sleep and then drive back to Houston.
I want to know. Okay, never mind.
Okay.
I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued to see what the fuck's going to happen.
Right? And then, so Magen goes home. 2 weeks later, Magen gives birth to her baby girl, Luna.
That's a puppy dog name.
What? Isn't that what you call your car?
Yeah, because that's not a human name. Luna is the I watched a video on like no, because I am saying this is not a real name. Luna is at the time like one of the top 3 most used puppy dog names in 2024.
Really?
Dumb fact, no one gives a fuck about. I'm here to drop it on you. Luna.
Well, Magen is white, and like most of them, like they name their kids names, and then they always name their dogs like Charles or
I'm upset.
They have like I've watched a couple
Ryan,
TikToks.
come over here. Steven.
They're
Those
like
are the dog names.
What's your dog's name?
Apple and fucking Blanket coming over.
This is Hubert, and then Blanket. Then we have Peach and Pit over there on the on the swings.
So dumb.
Would you like to give a biscuit to Hubert?
I'm over it, Luna.
Okay, anyway.
It's a fucking Pomeranian. I'm done.
Wonderboy Media is not only the proud producer of this glorious magic imploring your ear holes right now, but they're also a big deal.
Get in touch with them today to make all of your dreams a freaking reality.
From using their bangin' ass podcast studio,
where we are right now,
to creating amazing videos and editing our content like the mystical mavericks they are.
Your podcast can go further when you have a Wonder Boy.
Hit up Drew today at WBOYmedia.com.
Or text him day or night at 270.
Just kidding.
Get ready, outdoor enthusiasts. The Western Kentucky Outdoor Expo is coming to Owensboro Convention Center on April 12th and 13th. Explore RVs, boats, hunting gear, side-by-sides, and more, all in one place. And best of all, it's free. Don't miss this ultimate outdoor adventure. Learn more at westernkyoutdoorexpo.com or follow us on Facebook. We'll see you there. New age shit.
Okay. December 12th, 2019, 6:30 p.m., Shane called Rebecca and was like, hey, did Heidi come see you? Like with the baby? Like to bring the baby to see you? And she's like, no, why? He's like, oh, well, she didn't pick up our son from school and she's never done that.
Ooh,
and
no.
then 45 minutes later, Heidi's mom, Tammy, calls Rebecca and she's like, did she come see you? And they're like, no, she's not. What are you talking about? So then they start calling all the girls. No one knew where she was. She wasn't picking up. She wasn't responding. No one had talked to her. 11 hours later, the next morning, Shane calls the police and is like, Heidi and my newborn I don't know where they're at.
Scary.
Right. He went down to the police station and obviously he was questioned in depth, like trying to figure out what happened. The day before, he left for work at 6:30. Heidi had taken their son to school like any other day. He had talked to her at 8:30 a.m. And Heidi was like, yep, he's at school. All's good. Shane gets off work that afternoon. She didn't answer her phone. He went home. Her car was at their apartment and their apartment was unlocked and no one was home. Nothing looked out of place and everything that they would need to take a newborn baby anywhere was in the apartment.
Oh, no.
Like diaper bag, everything's still in the apartment. Her cell phone and car keys were the only thing that were gone. And so he was like, at first he thought, because she's done it before, maybe she just walked over to the neighbors or something. She took the baby for a walk or something.
Okay, that makes sense.
Right.
Reasonable.
Yeah. He got worried though because the school called and his son was still at school because he thought his son was with her. And then the son was at school waiting to get picked up. He went to get him. He waited there for a minute and she never showed. He's like, maybe she just got stuck in traffic. She never showed up. He told the police that he panicked when he got back and because he started thinking, well, maybe she did end up leaving or whatever, even though they were kind of happy, but she wouldn't have left her son and taken the newborn.
You'd leave the newborn and take the other one, right?
This one's easier.
How that works?
This one's easier.
At least that's what I would have done. Brand new one, you can fucking have that one. I need the one that's already potty trained. There's a reason I'm not a mom. I'm kidding, guys. That'd be great.
And so Shane was like, she's had to have been abducted. So their relationship was, they were on better terms, but it was still a little touchy, obviously. They were working through some stuff. The cops checked the video from the school and they saw Heidi drop their son and had the baby with her. Like they saw her on video. The police put an emergency ping on the cell phone for 48 hours to track the location and no activity. So it was either off or dead. So their friend group came together in their locations and they took to social media and obviously prayer warrior that's hard to say. Prayer warrior posts.
Yes.
Like asking for help. To find their best friend and her 2-week-old baby.
That's so sad.
I know.
That'd be terrifying. That'd be
Right.
really fucking terrifying.
Like out of nowhere, you just stopped talking to me and you just had a baby. Like that. What?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then like Travis wouldn't know. I don't know. I was just, when I was writing this, I was trying to think of how I would feel if all of a sudden you just disappeared. I don't know. Like terrifying. And there was a little speculation about maybe she had postpartum and ran away. But
yeah,
again,
that's what I was wondering. I was like, are they thinking it's a her thing?
they thought about it because they didn't get it. And, but they were like, there's no way in hell. Even her friends were like, no, she would not have left that boy. There's no way.
It'd be so weird. Like, there's such a different layer when a child is like a 2-week-old.
Well, yeah.
Like, if you're going to take someone, you're not going to take a new mom. I don't want to fuck with a crying baby.
Like
robbing a vehicle. Like, you don't want babies. Like, I don't know. It just seems like there's a lot easier people to take than someone with a 2-week-old baby.
Right. Okay, 5 days went by and nothing.
Oh, hell. Heart attacks, man.
Right.
Heart attacks all over town.
No movement on the case, which, the first 48 hours are the most critical. The police they were forced to go to the media, and they'd already called in the FBI to Austin to help them with the case, but it went nationwide. Like a 2-week-old baby and a mom disappear. So the case was all over everywhere. Her family went on TV for interviews, but the weirdest one that I saw was the one of Shane on TV.
Oh, what'd he do?
And
Did he wear his necklace?
you guys can look it up because he gave an interview to Nightline. He was nervous and crying, but then he would nervous laugh, and it got really odd. Like I saw the uncut version, and so
what's his last name?
Shane. I don't have his last name. I don't know. I just call him Shane the whole time on here.
Oh, shit! How do I look him up? Shane and Heidi what?
Broussard. Also, but yeah, I'll send it to you. Don't read anymore because
Shane Carey.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. Yeah,
there you go, everybody.
There we go. Thank you, man.
Here to solve the crisis.
Yes.
Which was not a crisis.
Right.
I like his name though, Shane Carey.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
So he's on there and he's begging like, who has her? Please bring her home. Da da da. But then he gets weird. Now I don't like being on this is weird, but I don't like being on camera, so I get that it's like
ignore what I'm doing as I wipe off all the water I got on the table.
And the producer during his interview, the producer like he keeps taking breaks, and the producer says, "Let me know if you want me to move on to another question." And he had tears in his eyes, and then he laughed, and he's like, "I don't know, this is a weird situation right here." Like he's nervous laughing, but he's anxious, and his demeanor is...
Is it because he's so scared of being on camera and he's on camera for an utterly terrible thing? I've seen really awkward people on camera and on radio.
Right.
Where it's like they just cannot get words out, let alone add it that your wife and your daughter's missing and all this other shit.
But
I don't know.
Remember who else was crying on camera around this time? Chris Watts was the one that was begging.
He did a pretty decent job.
The one that was begging. So this was around the same time.
Remember Chris Watts is the one, we did a story on him. He's the one that killed his kids and his wife.
Yeah, he murdered his wife and kids, and he was on the news begging for somebody to find him crying. Like, so her friends saw this interview and they were pissed. Like they thought it was fake. They saw this. They were like, Shane had to have done, like, he's going on here doing this and laughing and being all weird. And then they had the rocky relationship. I don't know.
So they put the whole video out there with him.
Even on the part that wasn't cut, he still seems off. Like to me, even me watching it. Like, yeah. And then Shane, of course, social media was around then too. So, cause it was just a few years ago.
It was only 10 years ago.
Well, this right now is 2019.
Oh shit. This was 5 minutes ago.
Yeah. And Shane was being smeared online. But like they were all talking about he had to do something, but the FBI was like, look, we can't connect him directly. It looks bad, but it's like you said, he was nervous.
Cameras are hard, man. Being in front of people, all that shit, it's hard.
And they had the light that like he was just reacting in a way to where if you didn't know the distress or whatever, but there's like he had no. 7 days after she went missing on December 19th, Caressa went on a podcast by Jay Youngblood called
Jay Youngblood.
Yeah, it's a girl. She's cool. She got dreads, everything. She's,
Oh, okay. Now I feel different.
right. Yeah. Jay Youngblood, which is like the coolest true crime podcast name ever.
Oh, she's a true crime. Ah, that's what I'm talking
She
about.
went on her podcast and they do live updates while people are on their show.
Oh shit.
And it's called J is for Justice. And so Caressa was
I'm vibing that.
was on the show, and she said 90 minutes went by and nothing had went on. But first of all, the other church group girls were pissed because they felt like they had mentioned that Caressa always just wanted attention from everybody, and she didn't even ask the family or anything, and she just agrees to go on this live show. And not for the right reasons. Like, you need to watch this show that I'm going to tell you at the end.
Okay.
Because the Rachel girl out of their friend group, she talks shit about everyone the entire time. She's like, I didn't like her. I didn't care to know. Like, just it. And you don't really see that whenever they talk about, like, she was talking about Heidi is this, but whenever she goes to talk about Magen and the other girl, she's like, Caressa was all right. I'll love on her when I see her, but I've never seen a girl do like an interview on a show when they're talking about like their friends and they were asking her about all of them. And
Does she not realize they're gonna hear it?
And she doesn't fucking care. She's just like, nah, I didn't like her. She was weird. It was.
I mean,
jarring.
go her for being
And
fucking her most authentic self.
The other church group, the other church girls like tiptoe around it, and she's like, I didn't like her. I thought she was weird.
I mean, she raw dogging it.
Yeah,
went up there and raw dogged that mic.
She
Some
did,
hard.
because it's kind of like, oh,
A good Christian soldier right there.
she's a little bit scary too.
yeah.
Like, I think if I was in a bar fight, I would be like, Rachel's gonna fuck you up, because Rachel would indeed fuck you up.
Oh.
Yeah. Caressa went on there originally to bring awareness to her best friend's case. Of course, that's what she said. She's like, I just want to bring awareness. But then if you listen to it, because she starts airing the dirty laundry about Shane and Heidi. She's like,
Well, of course she is.
she goes on there like, well, he's not, she goes, he's not a smart guy. Like, and she's telling the host all this shit. And they're like, you didn't even tell the family you're going to do this. And now you're going on there whenever the police are trying to connect him and they can't.
Okay, I'm gonna fully disagree with you on this.
Yeah.
If number one, she's a friend of the family, no one has to ask to speak their truth or what she wants. No one has to ask.
Yeah, that's a good
She does
point.
not have to call the family.
Yeah.
There's no body found. There's no speculation on who the murderer is. She's just missing. She could have literally left
Right.
at this point.
Yeah. And
No, hold on. Hold on. And if she wants to go on there and she's being asked questions and she's saying Shane isn't that smart and all, like, that's
Right.
her honest opinion.
yeah.
And it, like, is it necessarily you get a pat on the back? Like, bravo. No, but she went and interviewed from her perspective of her journey
Right.
in this circle of people.
Yeah.
So I don't think she did anything wrong.
I don't either. The girls did. Yeah. That, like, I agree with you.
I just don't get it.
They were like, if you watch the show and from everything that you read, the other girl, especially Rachel, seems really catty. Like, they seem like, I don't know.
A lot of people are.
Right.
Most people are catty
Yeah.
and petty.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not ever shocking. It's like, wow, everyone's a fucking thunder cunt.
And she's under distress. Her best friend's missing. She's
Yeah.
already probably not thinking the best
Dude,
of
if
Shane
you were
anyway.
missing and someone was like, do you want to come on my podcast and talk about it? I'd be like, the fuck I do.
Right.
Do you bleep out cuss words or where do you stand on that? Because I'm about to tear some shit up.
Right.
So I don't know.
So,
and I wouldn't
yeah.
even care about the backlash of it because I'd be like, my bitch is missing.
Right. And I'm glad that you pointed that part out because I do agree with you. And I was like, why do they even like
Why are they mad?
And
She
she's in
doesn't have to-
distress if Shane wasn't her favorite person. That's her opinion.
At the end of the day, if somebody else, if something else had happened and like her body was found and you're 100% like running him through the dirt and saying that he did it whenever you don't have any proof, then there's an issue there.
Right.
But if you're like, he's a dumbass.
Yeah.
And they didn't really have that great of a relationship. And out of the 5 years, 4 of them were pretty fucking bad.
Right.
Like,
Yep.
then you're just telling the truth.
Right.
Freedom of speech.
Agreed. And so while Caressa was on the podcast at 8 p.m., they have like a live feed chat during her shows.
Okay.
And someone in their chat was like, hey, I don't know, just they would randomly give her updates on other things because after 90 minutes, nothing was happening with this case. So they would just pop this up. And they're like, there's a raid going on in Houston right now about a missing persons case. This was a house there on Bojack Drive, and the raid included the Houston police, the FBI, and the Austin PD.
Oh, shit.
Carissa was like, oh, that doesn't have anything to do with Heidi. She never leaves the Austin. She stays in her little bubble. The host said, well, does Shane have like a Houston connection? And she goes, yeah. And then the host goes, wait. Someone in the chat had searched.
I can't believe this is happening. This is tantalizing.
Yeah. Someone in the chat, like it's live. Like,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, holy shit.
So, yeah, that's what the producer and the host said.
My fucking nipples are hard. Fuck yeah. I'm going to let you finish, but I'm really jazzed.
Okay. So, and she was like, yeah. And then someone in the chat, armed web sleuths over here, searched the address of the house. And the man, Christopher Green, owns the house. You know who that is?
The dude that's married, the dad, baby daddy of fucking Magen. Yeah.
Then another person comments and said there's a live baby registry with address online with Christopher Green and Megan Humphrey. Carissa immediately starts freaking out. She goes, oh my God, that's Megan's house. Like, that's Megan's house. And Carissa's like, well, no. I've talked to Megan all day, every day. She's been sick over this, and she just had a baby. She just had Luna. No. Like, she had a baby 16 days ago. Like, there's no way that
she was never pregnant.
Apparently.
Oh my God, if she wasn't pregnant, I'm going to throw a chair. I swear, I'm not done with this. I am in a catatonic state. I need to leave and come back. Okay. I think I need to do a lap and come back because I'm about to fucking lose my shit.
Apparently, 8 hours before this live podcast, the FBI had gone to the hospital where Heidi gave birth and interviewed the staff. One of the nurses said that Heidi's best friend Megan was there, of course, for the birth of her best friend's baby, and she seemed super possessive. Like, she was getting in between the baby and Heidi's mom, Tammy. Like, it kind of like if you're petting two dogs and one dog gets in between you. Like, Megan was the one dog, but it was her grandchild. Tammy even told the other girls that Megan was acting so weird, and she was really annoyed that she was even there. She's like, why is she even here?
Dude, if it was,
but like, totally if you're acting like that, why are you even here? They started digging into this, and someone had seen a 4-door light-colored car parked by Heidi's apartment. They said that a woman with a baby walked out, met another woman, they got into the car, and they drove off on December 12th. And guess who has a light-colored car? Megan.
Megan.
The police and the FBI start watching Megan's house, and they even used like a drone, and they're hovering the drone over her house, and they see a light 4-door colored car parked close to the house up behind it, like in their fenced-in backyard, not in their driveway.
Okay.
They see Megan's boyfriend, Chris, leave the house. So they're like, all right, well, we got to follow him. He pulls into Target. He goes in. He comes out. He's got baby stuff. And the Texas Rangers are like, excuse me, sir. And then Chris is like, yeah, our baby's at the house, and this is shit for our baby. And Chris was like, yeah, she had the baby a few weeks ago. And they're like, were you there? He goes, no, I was out of town for work. She brought the baby home.
The due date was a confirmed due date.
Yeah, they weren't on good terms. Like, they kind of...
I still need to just highlight, due date was a confirmed due date.
Right. They were like, is this your baby? And showed a picture. They were like, is this your baby? And his face turned white because he was like, that's my kid. And they're like, no, this is the infant that's missing.
Woo! Buddy.
He's like, no, that's not... That can't be right. She was pregnant. She kept getting bigger over the summer and all that. And they roundabout way finally were like, were you guys sleeping together? And he was like, well, no, because we're in different rooms. So they were like, you haven't seen her without her clothes on. And he's like, no.
I've read so many books where like women really got away with that. Whenever like, I'm like, what the fuck?
Right. And then, yeah, he's like, no, since she got pregnant, we haven't had sex. So they called the team outside and they were like, okay, you get to go in now because this is like a situation. Like, they don't need a warrant to bust in because there is a missing child in danger. So they bust in the door. Megan is in there, and so was the missing infant. Megan was like, no. This is my baby. I had her at the birthing center alone. Get this. They were like, well, what birthing center was it? She's like, I don't know. I don't remember the name. They're like, okay, where was it? And she's like, I don't know.
Girl.
I'm like, I feel like that's bare men's vital information.
We've got to do better as a society.
I don't remember where I gave birth or what the name of it was.
Or the street. But I did it by myself.
But I was alone. It was me and the
if it was-
doctors.
yeah.
Me and the doctors and the nurses. She didn't remember the doctor's name. No questions were answered. Just I had a baby in a building, basically. is what she said.
Probably should have dug into that a little bit more.
Right.
If I was going to steal someone's kid,
Right.
I'd be like, so who was your doctor today? Did you like Dr.
Smith?
Was that a he or a she?
He is nice. She.
How did it come out? Yeah, I'd have questions.
Right. So they rushed the DNA test and they confirmed, thankfully, that this was Heidi and Shane's daughter.
That's so sad.
It very. As they searched the house, they were walking around and they walked past. They were like, well, we need to go look at that car that she obviously hid by the back door. And they smelled decaying flesh.
This is such bullshit.
Yeah. So they immediately called in an emergency warrant so they could search the vehicle. When they popped the trunk, they opened a bag and sadly, Heidi was in there.
Why did she do this?
She had been strangled.
Strangled.
And Magen was arrested for 2 charges of kidnapping and a charge of tampering with a corpse.
Strangled. That is spicy.
The other friends found out in their group and they all couldn't believe it because they had gotten the closest. Magen and Heidi were the closest out of all of them.
Yeah.
And this whole time they thought Shane.
Yeah.
All of them were thinking
Just
that Shane
because he
did
didn't
it,
have a good media consultant.
right? Because this is a weird interview. And I mean, I would act weird too in that situation. Like I laugh when I get nervous. I don't know. Like you never know how people are going to react. But it did look shady, but they didn't have anything to connect him to it. So, because he was panicking. So Magen kept her stupid mouth shut. To this day has never uttered a word about how or why. To this day.
Really?
Right. The police had to come up with their own theory, and I think it's pretty spot on. So they said that Heidi came down with her baby and got in the car because the neighbor saw that. Then Magen strangled her right there in her car, right outside of her apartment.
That does not seem like an easy maneuverable thing.
Right.
Hop in my car and let me try to strangle you.
Like they...
No, I'm literally thinking the first thing my head does is
Right.
try to figure it out like logistically.
Yeah.
And I just feel like the shifting and the turning, how hard that would be. And to strangle someone
Right.
is true effort.
I was looking into it too, and what I found, like on the show, they didn't come out and say it because again, it's a theory, but they showed like a bungee cord.
Okay,
so
cords
I'm
are totally
thinking
different.
maybe
Hands
she was
versus
like,
cords are totally
"Let
different.
me get in my purse," gets in the
Yeah.
back seat.
Okay, totally different.
I don't know. But
Yeah, that's a good
just
point.
What I
That's a
think,
good
but
point.
I agree with you because I was thinking.
You're right.
the
I'm
same
thinking
thing.
hands, and I'm like,
I'm
dude,
like-
you could try to choke me, and I'm pretty sure I could take you. Drew, he could kill me. Jess, I
Jess-
weigh more than her. I could throw her off. I could buck that little bitch off.
I love
But
that you're.
what? These are important things
I
for
was
me.
first to get voted off the island.
I just think I could take you. Like if you were trying to kill me, and I like to think that if I was trying to kill you, you could stop me from
Oh,
killing
yeah.
you too. It's a whole difference. It's like you're fighting for your life.
That's
at
true.
that point.
Yeah.
and that's what. And she was a mom,
this is so
like trying to
sad.
keep
2
like
weeks.
live for her kids.
2
yeah.
weeks after she had her second kid, and they said she was like super PTA mom, like great
Yeah.
parent, like great human. And that they said not one person could say anything bad about Heidi, like
That's so
her
sad.
whole life. They said, and the police said that Magen wanted a baby, and for some reason they didn't. Probably because her relationship was shit. They don't know. But she couldn't have one. So they think that when she saw Heidi, like when Heidi announced her pregnancy, she was like, "Oh my God, I have to be pregnant too."
So they knew that she actually couldn't have kids.
No, they said they didn't know.
Okay.
Because she won't say shit. So they
I didn't know
don't-
if there was like proof that
she.
her and Chris were struggling because they couldn't. I don't know. I was just curious.
I
Okay.
think her and Chris should have just broken up, but they think like they're like, well, she probably tried to do it. Heidi gets pregnant, her relationship gets better, so they're thinking that she was like, oh my God, we have the same due date, and like they think that she started planning it from the beginning. Like I want to be a part of that, but didn't know what her end game was going to be. But then when she was in the room and saw the actual baby, she was like, oh, that's mine, and that's when she started acting weird. Was when Heidi had her baby.
But she would have had to have faked her pregnancy all the way up to that.
Right. They didn't know what, like, if she knew how she was going to get to the end game, if she was going to say, like, she lost it or something, like to try to make Chris go closer to her or what. And then she just kept it up because they bonded over being pregnant at the same time. So she fell into that world.
But she wasn't even like having the symptoms. Like
Right.
I don't get it. Like, I wonder if she was pregnant for a specific amount, but there would have been evidence of that.
Right.
If she would have ever gotten pregnant, there would have been a hospital visit confirming that she had gotten pregnant.
They all said she never was.
So then she just, what a fucking
Never.
crazy motherfucker.
Right. She had planned, like, Heidi got pregnant, and the second she got pregnant,
How do you just come up with that?
like, oh, me too. And then what? Like, the part that's even more sad out of all this, besides the fact that Heidi lost her life, is the fact that she didn't see it coming. There's no way she could have seen it coming.
How could you?
Nothing pointed to this. She just thought she was pregnant with her best friend. And then, like, her best friend is the one that strangles her
And takes her body.
and takes her child.
Or it takes her body. Takes
Right?
her body. That's weird to say.
Right?
Takes her baby. That's so crazy.
And then 2 days before Christmas, and the baby was returned to Shane. And her friends actually went and apologized to him and said, sorry. Like, sorry, we thought this of you. We were wrong.
yeah, that's all you can do.
And they're still there for the baby. The kids are doing well. On February 22nd, 2023, Magen pled guilty of murder and got 55 years in prison, where she still sits now, not saying a word. And that is a fucked up story of the murder of Heidi Broussard.
So what was the baby's name then?
They didn't give the names of the kids.
Good call.
Yeah.
Good call.
Luna
I bet
was
it
the name
wasn't
of the
Luna.
fake baby that didn't
is so
exist.
crazy.
Or what she was going to call Heidi's baby. Like, how did she...
That's some shit that I'm like, dude, I've taken maybe 43 minutes to think about this since I've heard the story. Maybe 20. And I'm like, I do not see a clear path through this meadow. Like, I do not see.
What do you mean?
I do not see where friend gets pregnant, I fake pregnancy. I don't see any path
Right.
where this would have worked or made any sense or the longevity of it. You would know photos of you giving birth to the baby.
Right.
Like, there's no evidence. Where's the birth certificate?
She didn't even...
You don't have any of this shit.
Yeah, you know who else is a victim in all this besides Heidi's family, Shane,
Chris
her
and-
kids?
Chris.
He thought he may have... They weren't on the best of terms.
Yeah, because she was
but he
probably crazy.
He thought he was having a baby.
Yeah.
And then he sees this baby. And then they're like, that's not yours.
He was probably relieved. At the end of the day, he didn't want to be with her.
Right.
And she did it as like a
I feel like
ditch
she's
effort.
locking
And he
him in.
never even touched her privates for 9 months. So like he was probably like, cool, now I get to like get an apartment on my own. Like,
I mean, I'm sure.
I mean, I feel bad for him,
Like
for
seeing
sure.
the
But he
baby
also
and
saw the
then-
baby for like a day. He didn't even care enough to like be there for the for the birth.
Right. That's
Homeboy didn't give a fuck.
That's a good point.
If he gave a fuck, he probably would have known the hospital and would have been there and maybe involved in the baby name.
Or a FaceTime, Bear Man. Like they had Skype then. It was 2019.
I don't even, dude. I don't know.
I don't know.
I feel so confused by that.
Yeah. The sources, Fox 7, Austin, CNN.com, People.com, ABC News. And the show I was talking about was called Mean Girl Murders on Max, Season 2, Episode 2, which again, I need y'all to watch.
Okay, I want to see
Because Rachel.
'Cause that's spicy.
Rachel just... it's
that. What does
funny.
Rachel look like? If she was an actress, who would she be?
Tell me what you think she looks like, and I'll tell you if you're right.
I feel like she's a little thick.
She's thick, yes.
Yeah. But like not overweight, like thick, like she was like a softball player.
Yeah.
Okay. Like she could still run 2 miles? Or no?
Yeah.
Okay, that means no. She has brown hair,
You know-
mousy.
You know what Will says when he asks this question? Like, if she sat in with me in a canoe, would it sink? I'm like,
That's a good way. That's a good way to put it. And so I was like, if she can run, you're like, I'm like, that means no.
all right.
Does she have brown hair? Limp?
Red.
Does she wear it red?
It's got,
Bright
it's like
red
a
clown
faded red.
Okay.
She's got a little bit of a raspy voice. And she, when I said, because they talk about Megan from the beginning, she's like, I didn't care to know about Megan. And then the other girl's like, well, I mean, she wasn't mean. She just wanted to be accepted. She tried hard. She's like, I didn't like her. And every time every time Heidi would say, oh, I'm going to go see Magen. And Rachel would go, why? Why do you still
I feel
even
like
talk
I'm
to
Rachel
her?
in this.
Yeah,
Like,
I thought that the whole time.
The whole time you're saying this shit, I'm over here like, dude, that's
wanna
how I
show
feel
you.
about shit. Like, why?
Here's Meg. That was her. And we'll put these on the
Okay.
episode. That's Magen.
On the right?
That's
blonde.
Megan. Yeah.
Okay,
that was
back
her
when
then.
we did not care
That's-
about burning our hair out.
Yeah, and that's her then. And then,
Oh, she does look like she would throw the fuck down.
This
You
is,
do not
this
bump
is-
into her drunk at a bar.
Right. That's fake pregnancy.
Which one?
That the blonde one is
Let
Megan.
me see. Wait, Megan. Oh, I was thinking, sorry, Rachel.
No, Rachel. I don't have a photo.
Okay, so the right one,
Yeah. The one on the right is Heidi.
Heidi. Left one is
Megan.
Would not have guessed that. Okay.
And
I
then-
thought that was Rachel. Got it.
And then this is a picture of her right after. Look how pretty Heidi was.
She was.
That's her.
She looks like she's a great mom.
Yeah. And that was
Anywho,
her
man.
kids. But yeah, so that's the story. And I rewatched it a couple times just because I was like, it was just funny to see the passive aggressive way that one of the girls would talk about it, and she was admittedly quieter. And then Rachel was like, I was the rowdy one of the group, and I'm like, you don't have to say that because you're being put against these two other women, and she's more like us, she's more abrasive. And,
yeah, that's what it like. Yeah, abrasive.
and
It's
you,
just like
and
a
you
blunt.
typically don't see that realness on the show. That's why at the beginning of the show, I was, well, for one, it's called Mean Girl Murder. So I knew that a woman had to do it and Shane didn't do it. But the other thing was that you don't typically see that. And then I was like, oh, I like this show. Cause she was just like, I didn't like Megan. And I asked her I asked Heidi all the time why she still didn't fucking talk to her. And you don't really see that on the documentaries. You're usually like, she was just different. She was an odd duck. And she's like, basically like, I fucking hated her. She was weird.
Dude, sometimes you just don't like people.
Right.
I hate that because I know that I could list at least 4 people that I know just don't like me. I haven't given them any reason, but I'm like, dude, I get it. You just don't like me. I get it.
I'm not everybody's shot of Tito's. I say that quite often.
That is true. And I feel the same way about people. I'm like, I don't know why. I do not fucking like them, but I just don't. And that's just, it is what it is.
Would you say when somebody has a punchable face?
Oh, gosh.
You're like, God, I don't know why. I just want to punch him in the face.
I just want to punch him in the fucking face.
See, that would be you on your true crime documentary.
Yeah.
You know
What
what?
do you mean?
We promised you that she won't punch you in the face.
I don't promise shit.
I was gonna say if you rate, review, subscribe to our show, and you're like, I don't promise shit.
Well, I can't promise I'm not going to punch somebody in the face.
Okay, she will not come after you,
I wouldn't know you.
right?
But for me to hit someone, I'm not even a good punch. So it's going to have to be like self-defense situation.
I'm not even a good punch.
Yeah, it feels awkward in my hands. I don't know what to do with them. They don't feel right. I got a little bum shoulder. I ain't trying to punch nobody.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, y'all, we love you and we think you're really special.
Yes.
And yes, please like, rate, review, subscribe.
Oh yeah, check out our merch store now, Mouthy
Yeah.
merch, because now we have the new logo stuff.
We do, so you need to buy new stuff.
Yeah.
Buy new stuff.
It's time for a closet refresh.
Yes.
Right?
Do all those things.
It's also time for us to go take Dayquil. Let's go.
It is. Oh my God, man. That should be kicking.
We made it.
It'd be slapping.
My mustache was sweating, but we made it.
We did it, you guys.
Yes.
I've only coughed 800 times, but I'm sorry and I love
That's
you.
right.
Remember, y'all, don't get mad.
Get sassy.
We love you.
We
Bye.
love you, bye.
That one's going to be in this shot. I knew it.
This episode was sponsored, edited, and produced by Wonderboy Media. Get the deets at WBOYmedia.com to see how you can make your podcast dreams a reality.
Help us out and be sure to rate, review, and subscribe wherever you listen to our audio project. Don't forget, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at, of course, a couple of Sassholes.
Want more sass? Become a member of our Patreon for bonus content, merch, and more. Plus, we're on Cameo now, so there's even more ways to get the sass you need just how you like it. As always, don't get mad.
Get sassy.
Theodore, can I bet that